Ben Jones.
Hey, Aarne, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
No complaints. I'm just curious, what's your summer been like, and is it different going through a pandemic when your family is in a different part of the world than where you are right now?
Yeah, so my summer was actually great. So I was able to practice pretty much normally the whole summer, which was awesome because the COVID didn't hit as bad in Finland as did it here. So it was awesome. Just was able to practice and pretty much enjoy the summer. But yeah, it's of course this kind of pandemic, like grandparents and stuff like that, back home, and you're not able to talk to them as much as possible. So of course it kind of puts you in a different mindset. But just trying to talk to them as much as possible and stuff like that. So
Jake Starr.
Hey, Aarne. So obviously coming in the last season, you're kind of coming off the injury, kind of had the rehab heading into last season. Now this season you're coming in and had a full off season to work behind you without having to worry about rehab. How much of a difference do you think that'll make that you have all that behind you now and had a full off season of work to put in?
I think it's absolutely massive. I think it's just being good to kind of know where I'm at and just focus on the knee a little bit more this last summer. So it's definitely way easier to get out there and just knowing that I'm really 100% now. And it's not bothering me anymore. Like last season, it was, sore in the game. So it was kind of in the back of my mind all the time, which, affected me a little, and little stuff like that. But now it's I'm able to be 100% confident with it, which helps me a lot.
Acacia Broder.
Hey, Aarne, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Obviously, with the season starting this week, how are you feeling about getting back on the ice and kind of getting into the swing of things again?
Oh, it's awesome. It's been a while. I was just talking to John about it. It was 270 days since our last game. Yeah. So it's been a while. So it's awesome to get back. And guys have been waiting for this so long, and we're so fortunate that we're able to have a season and play. So yeah, just really excited about playing again and going on a little road trip with the guys. So that's going to be definitely fun.
Again, if you have a question, just use the raise hand feature. Chris Hess.
Hey, Aarne, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. So my question for you is, throughout the pandemic, have you been able to keep in contact with, the Devils and update them on how you're doing in that scenario? And how, kind of a separate part of that, how, I guess, would you say that Mariucci compares to the other rinks you play at? Because I know that they have the Olympic style ice. And do you think that caters to your style of play?
So yeah, I've been able to be in contact with the Devils a lot, and they've been asking, especially over the summer, how I'm able to practice and how's everything going and stuff like that. So they've been great about it, and they've helped me a lot and just giving me support and little tips here and there. And when it comes to Minnesota ice, yeah, I would say I'm pretty confident there. So just with my experience on the Olympic ice, definitely helps me out. And I think with my strong skating, it can benefit me as well, for sure.
Jess Myers.
Hi, Aarne. You had two very close games with Minnesota late last season, and we're preparing to play them, a third time in just a couple weeks when the season was canceled. What do you think about coming to play the Gophers? A very different team. Your team, at least, is a very different team from last year. And also, what's your relationship like with Sampo Ranta? You two are two of the more prominent Finnish players in the Big Ten.
So yeah, it's going to be tough games against Minnesota. I know our teams change a lot. They're pretty much having the same team as last year. So we're expecting them to be a tough opponent, but nothing that we can't handle. So we're confident, of course, and we know how we can play with our strengths. But it's definitely going to be a good and tough couple of games coming up against Minnesota. And yeah, me and Sampo, we know each other. We've been in a couple of national team tournaments together. So yeah, I know him. I know him pretty well, and yeah, it's gonna be good to square off with him. So looking forward to that.
Ben Jones?
Aarne, I know that you guys you've played in tournaments that are more frequent than every weekend, but how do you think the schedule kind of changes the recovery process for you guys, the scheduling process for you guys? How is that going to be different than a normal year?
Well, yeah, now it's going to be a lot different because last year, well, as you guys know, every week, like it was pretty much 2 games a weekend, and now we're having 2 games Thursday, Friday, and then Monday and Tuesday. So it's looking a lot different, and you just gotta be smart about the recovery and stuff like that, because you only get a couple of days, and we're sitting on the bus going from Minnesota to Wisconsin. So you really gotta take you gotta eat enough, you gotta rest as much as possible, but also you gotta get out there and skate around and get the muscles going again. So it's going to be a big aspect, but I think we have all the resources and commitments to do that.
Connor Donahue?
Hey, Aarne. Since the beginning of this entire season and with all the COVID protocols, this is your first time kind of getting to leave the state college bubble. Are you guys excited for that as a team to just get out of state college, I should say?
Yeah. It's going to be good to change the scenery for a bit, of course. So it's going to be, and as I said, it's we never really had this kind of, or I haven't had with this team, kind of a road trip with the guys for like a week. I know there's like the COVID stuff, we got to be careful about that and go by all the protocols, but like it's going to be a new experience for sure, and it's going to be fun to go away for a while.
David Eckert?
Hey, Aarne, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, thanks. Hey, I'm wondering if you can kind of describe the psychological impact of, having to worry about your knee a little bit, and maybe kind of compare that to how you're feeling now without that being a thing and being on your mind.
Yeah, I think, well, I can notice the difference straight away. Right now when we've been practicing, it was like, as I said, it's like last year it was kind of a thing like behind my back, not behind my back, like at the back of my head, and I was just like, it was like in my mind I could notice when it was sore, and I was like, sore again, and like I kind of like stuck with it, and of course it like takes away of the game when you're thinking about something you're not supposed to, which in that point was like, my knee not feeling good. But right now it's feeling awesome, and I'm a lot more like, how would I say, like confident and free out there. I don't have to think about that. I can just focus on playing the game and doing the best for the team.
Jake Starr?
So Aarne, obviously voted as an alternate captain by your teammates this year, and also now as a upperclassman, you're going to be looked at as a leader amongst a lot of those younger players this year. Is that a challenge that you're excited for, and kind of how do you plan on going to attack that challenge as being looked at as a leader?
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been in that position for a couple of times during my career, so it's nothing new, and I think it gives me a little extra bump, going out there and not being lazy and just showing guys how to do it and be, as you said, a good leader. And I think like the big part of being a good leader is showing example and how to work for the team. But also I think being as a leader, I think really important for because we have a lot of freshmen coming in this year. So kind of helping those guys out, because everybody knows coming in as a freshman, it's not the easiest thing. And like the games are different. Everything's like pretty much different. So kind of helping those guys out, because I was in the same spot. Everybody's been there. So just trying to make it easy for them and showing them example on the ice.
Chris Heidel?
Hi, Aarne. I'm brand new to the team, and I'm just trying to get to know you guys. You came all the way from Finland. So how does a guy from Finland find state college?
It's good. I've had a really good time here, and it's awesome. It's the hockey is the best here. The rink is awesome, and I think the education as well. It's a big part of this school, offering high quality education, and I think my family and everybody back home really appreciates me to take that extra step to take care of school, but I'm here to play hockey. And so far, these last 2 years have been nothing but awesome. And I have I only have good things to say about State College.
Acacia Broder.
So I've talked to a bunch of your teammates about like the mentorship program. Do you have a mentee?
I don't have a mentee this year. No, I don't.
Why not?
I don't know. I was wondering that myself. I would have loved a mentee, but didn't make the cut this year, I guess.
Do you think, if you're back next year, you'd want one? Or do you think you kind of act, because you're an alternate captain this year, as a mentor to some of the guys on the team anyway, even without being?
Yeah, well, that's what I've been doing for sure. Not having a mentee, I'm kind of just talk to the guys a lot and like trying to be a good of a guy as I can, and just tell them tips in here like what to do and what works out for them and what can be beneficial and stuff like that. So yeah.
Frank Marzano.
Hey, Aarne. Last week we heard Coach Gadowski talk about how it's been difficult to really get good team bonding in, especially with the younger players, since you really are rarely allowed in the same room together. Do you feel like you've been able to get to know the incoming freshmen well?
Yeah, I would say, of course, it's different now, and definitely more difficult to get to know the new guys. But it's just, you just got to put a little bit more effort into it, like talk to them as much as possible, and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been able to bond with them, and of course, coming in trying to help them out as much as possible. So yeah, I think I've been able to get to know the guys pretty well.
Kyle Canillo.
Hey, thanks so much for taking the time. I'm just curious the area of the game you worked on the most during the off season.
Mostly it was just getting my speed back. With the injury, it kind of held me off a little bit on my speed on the ice. So that's really what I was working on at the gym this summer. But also basic skills and like puck handling and having my vision with the puck. I think I worked on that a lot, and I think I've taken a couple of good steps on that for sure.
Ben Jones.
Aarne, you guys only have half your schedule. For all any of us know, half the team could test positive next week and you won't play again for another month. I mean, how does that change your approach going into every game when you don't really know how long the season could last? You don't know when it could be over. I mean, how is that different than a year when everything is, quote unquote normal?
Yeah. Well, for me, I haven't really even thought of that long. I'm just like looking at the games now that we have in the schedule and making sure that like we go out there and we play as well as possible. Like we, as you said, nobody knows what's going to happen after Christmas break and stuff like that. And those are the games we have now. So when we go out there, we just, we got to play like those are our last games. So, but I don't know. I think we're not jumping ahead on anything. Like we don't know anything, what's going to happen and stuff like that. So I think it's important just for us to be present and focus on the things we know now.
Connor Donahue.
So usually when the season isn't with all COVID and stuff, you guys will play a traditional non-conference slate against what is usually considered weaker opposition. How do you think you guys are going to adjust jumping directly into Big Ten play? Do you guys think there's going to be a slow start, or do you guys are confident in your ability?
I think we're confident. So I think like it's pretty much the same thing for all the teams. Well, ASU right this season is going to play against us. So I know Michigan last week and played against them. So they're kind of in a different spot, but it's most of for most of the teams, it's pretty much the same thing, jumping straight to the Big Ten games. But we're confident 100%. We know how we can play, and we have a really good group of guys who can play well, and we can beat anybody, and the whole team knows that. So we're being confident, but we know that things might be a little harder like straight away because we haven't played in a while, and we have a lot of new guys, but like as I said, like we have a good group of guys, so we're 100% confident.
Aarne, thank you for your time. Good luck against Minnesota this weekend. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. See ya.